Gehalo. Gehalo. Hinasu. Hinasu. Gehalo. Gehalo. Hinasu. Hinasu. Izahulu. Izahulu. Outstanding. Mili. Patia. No pati. No pati foam. Go ahead and take your hands like this. Put them in the air like this. Repeat after me. To all my relations.
To all my relations.
Now I'd like you to turn and face the person who's side by side with you. Okay? And if you have to be a group of three, that's okay. And I'd like you to say, to all my relations.
To all my relations.
Now I want to teach you the most Islander tradition ever. And we're about to have you introduce yourself to your partner, okay? Now in American culture, what's the appropriate way to say hello when you meet someone? Shake their hand, right? So go ahead. Hey, sis, how are you?
Hello.
Go ahead and shake their hand and say, hello, how are you doing?
Hello, how are you doing?
And then what's a common first question after you shake someone's hand and say, hello, how are you doing? What's the next thing you might ask them? What's your name? So go ahead and ask them, what's your name?
What's your name?
Richard. Okay, so what's a next kind of common question? Let's say you're just walking around the local college. You might ask them, where are you from? So go ahead and ask your partner. Where are you
I'm from the Philippines. Yeah, me too.
Okay, so now I want to show you.
Yes,
Now I want to show you some of the diversity and some of the unique differences with how we kind of greet. Now this involves, you have to trust with your personal space, okay? So in the islands, we call this the honi, or we call this the ha, or we call this in Guam, we call this the faningi. Okay, and really it's the notion that, all people, we share this breath, this oxygen. So this is how you hold it. You take your head next to your neighbor's head, and you just put your heads together and you take a deep breath. That's called the honey. So if you're okay and comfortable with it, go ahead to your neighbor and you can give them a honey. Take a deep breath together. Yes. Okay. Now will the image
It'll be private.
It's called the honi, it's also called the ha, and it's also called the faningi. It depends on what part of the Pacific you're in. But that notion that we share a breath together as a way to greet is something that is, again, thousands of years old. And this is also a very common way of greeting in many of the American Indian tribes of the United States, as well as many indigenous peoples in Alaska. So in the islands, the next question you would ask someone is you might ask them, who is your family? And then you would share some of your family's last names and where they're from. So go ahead and do that now. Who is your family? Go ahead and share that info now. So your mom's side, your dad's side, where are they from? Try to be as detailed as possible. So the town, the city, the state.
You said it's starting to get cold, so it takes a
Russ, I'm Julie.
Did Joanne come? It's noisy. Yeah, Joanne's still trying to figure out whether she's going to go to the thing and walk or not. She was just
I was giving her some ideas on how I think she can get her once every 40 years or so. Because it rotates in all the countries, you know, from one to the other.
maybe you want to go to a different country every now and then.
That's true, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I think she just went to Guam like 2 years ago when they paid for it.
Oh, okay.
Or some. When her sister was doing the reading for her, you know about that? Yeah, she went and somebody paid for that. So, I don't know. But she was going to look into it. She asked me if I wanted to go. She's an island girl.
My brother's
Okay, the next question. Next question. And this is one of our last questions, okay? This is very important. Especially you'll see why later. I want you to ask them, what does your family love to eat? And what do they love to make? Is there something special in your family that's a tradition that they love to eat? So go ahead and share. What's one of your favorite things your family like to eat? Every islander wants to know this.
What I love cheese. My sister introduced me to food. It wasn't too many. It was a different taste. And especially that one. Yeah. It's so sweet. And it's and it's spicy. Really
You ever heard tomorrow bully here?
No.
Okay, good.
No. Only
Part of that Okay, the last question, and this is for you to share with multiple people around you is, so when are we going to try this food? And when are we going to have a potluck? Take a moment and discuss that. Talk to your neighbor. When are we going to try this food? Ask them that.
Like this.
What is it? You don't cook? Let's go to the potluck. I'm ready.
I'll be there.
Commissary's just down the road.
It's a beautiful day. We go outside.
Is it scheduled really? You schedule it?
No, but we can. We can schedule one now.
Okay. So let's close with one more. Salsa. Ugua. Isa. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change our seating arrangement a little bit. So here's what we're gonna do, okay? Now, if you identify yourself, okay, as an elder, okay, I would like to ask you to come and sit in one of the seats in the front row. And then the students who, like I said, you can self-select. If you have family who consider you an elder, I'll let you define it that way. So if you have family who consider you to be an elder, then I would define it that way. And I ask you to come sit in the front. And then I want to ask the students to come to the front, and we're going to open the guapa and sit on the floor together in the traditional Islander way. Now, if you have any physical reasons why it's not comfortable for you, you are also welcome to sit in a chair in one of the front rows, okay? So if I could ask the students to come up and help me open up the guapa. Go ahead, 2 of you or 3 of you can come up, and then we'll ask we can kind of adjust the seats, so we just kind of scoot them a little to the side so that the mat can, So the elders, you should be sitting in a way where you're almost like maybe in a U, facing the front, around the U, okay? So that you can still see the board. So I know there's students in here, because I see some student ID numbers, okay. So how about we have the elders, if you can make your row, come right here around the guapa, so you can kind of scoot down so you can still see the board. So go ahead, students, you can come and sit on the guapa this way, facing the board like this, together looking up at the...
So you can still see the board?
And it's okay if you have your shoes on, it's a strong mat. It was made by some very strong aunties. If you look here, it'll tell you which family designed the fala, the guapa. So it says, Philomena Uepa, Langa Fa'atao, made in 1996. This fala's 20 years old.
What's the name of my grandma?
Philomena? What